What's good, everyone? Alex Trataros here with another Jets episode of the Knicks, Jets, etc. podcast. And with me is always my buddy, my coach, my pal, the man with the plan, the guy who is, I don't even know. He's smiling right now because he knows that this is just not energy. I can't have energy. I don't even know how we have energy to even do this right now. If it's going to be like this for the rest of the season, like last season, woo, this is quite a treat for doing a Jets podcast two seasons in a row. But my man, how are you doing today?
I'm okay. I'm all right, man. It's not about the Jets podcast, man. It's about being a Jets fan my whole life. I mean, I know I should be used to this.
For sure.
I know I should be used to this, but I mean, no touchdowns in 8 quarters. Like eight quarters, we can't put up 6. Like, what's the issue, man? Holy God.
A lot of things.
Like, let's get into it. Let's get into it, man. All right. Let's honestly get into it. I mean, coming off of a statistically, as a team, not a terrible loss versus the New England Patriots. We didn't score a touchdown. Zach Wilson had a bunch of interceptions. But as a team, like team stats versus New England team stats, it was okay, right? So there was that positive that we could take out. Okay, our special teams did okay despite the injury. I mean, we had a pretty gritty week despite the interceptions, and we came in here. We said we got to limit the wide receiver drops, okay, because we led the NFL in wide receiver drops that led to turnovers. We got to run the ball, and we got to be conservative on offense. That was the game plan. Right? That's what everyone said the Jets have to do. That's what the coaches said. We knew it was going to be tough coming into Denver. You want to spit out the numbers for us, Alex? You want to spit out the Jets and Denver numbers real quick?
No, don't force me to do this. Please don't ask me to do this. I really don't want to even spit out these numbers, man. This is just disgusting. Like, honestly, it's so hard to read right now because, one, ESPN is just like ruining the numbers right now. I don't even think they want me to read the numbers right now. They're freezing.
Okay, that's fine. I thought you had the Jets Denver record on top of your head, but
the record.
It's always hard for
you're talking about the record. I thought you were talking about today's game stats. Oh no, the record. We came in here with 21-16-1 before, and now it is 22-16-1. So.
Yeah,
there you go.
I mean, we weren't really projected to win this game. We were at plus 10.5 coming into this game from Vegas. Okay, so that's what's coming in. But that's the fact that we put up a 0 and it was 26-0. That's not why I'm upset. That's not why I can barely open my eyes and talk to you right now about the Jets. And I honestly don't even want to watch a Sunday night football game. I'm only watching the Yankees. I have no interest in any more football.
Oh, look at me. I got the Yankees. After this, we're putting that thing on, man.
I mean, we are in Yankees playoff baseball, but that's neither here nor there. The reason why I'm so sick and I don't want to watch football anymore is because of how the Jets performed actually on the field. I mean, God, dude, 4 for 13 on third downs. What is that? I know. What is it about the Jets to you, Alex, on offense that stood out besides the fact that we couldn't move the ball? Like, tell me what it was on offense that you saw that was driving you absolutely crazy today.
Oh, my God. What was driving me absolutely crazy today? Really want to get into this? Well, let's first start off with not really establishing the run. We couldn't establish the run. The protection was just offensively, like the pass run blocking wasn't there. It was better than the pass blocking, but pass blocking was subpar. Zach Wilson was just playing like a rookie for some parts too. Granted, some people were saying he held on to the ball way too long. Yes. Also, wide receivers aren't getting separation. Then you see Zach Wilson getting hits. Pass protection is not there. Everything that could go wrong for a football team offensively went wrong for the New York Jets today. You also had wide receivers dropping the ball. Corey Davis decided to leave his hand. I tweeted out today because I was watching some Red Zone before the Jets came on. And as you tweeted, oh, now it could be a nice calm morning, get some football in. You don't have to worry about the Jets at 1 o'clock. You can enjoy some games. You can put on the red zone. You can actually enjoy football Sunday. I'm watching Hollywood Brown drop these wide open passes, bro. I'm like, I'm like joking. I'm like, ha, Hollywood Brown forgot his hands at home. Then we turn on to the Jets game. I'm like, wow, Corey Davis forgot his hands at home. Like, what is going on? Ty Johnson can't even pass block as a running back. Got to leave Michael Carter out there. He can't even catch. What today was just the worst. Bro. The worst of the like everything. Honestly, even coaching, there was no adjustments. Same thing that I was talking about last week when we had Peter Dewey on the pod, saying that I want to see LaFleur just getting Zach Wilson in rhythm with short passes, build up his confidence, stop being aggressive just immediately out the gate, and look for his guy Corey Davis. And what do? They look for Corey Davis out of the gate. They try to be aggressive. You're going against one of the better defenses in the league. So why are we going aggressive? Why not just get your quarterback in rhythm first? And then we see now it's getting late into games. No, we see it late into games, not in rhythm. And then we're like, oh, crunch time. We got to force the ball down the field. Now we got to make these big passes. That's what happens when you just don't even get into rhythm. Like, keep the defense on their toes. Just do the 5-yard dink and dunks. Do the check downs. It's simple. But you know what? It's also difficult when your players aren't getting like separation too. So I totally get that. Today was just like, there was just a lot to go around for blame from coaching, players wise. It's not all on one person, but this team is really showing not only are they young as like a squad, like athlete wise, but they're also young as coaches too, for like making little adjustments and just understanding how to like help players succeed, because there's so many things. Not saying that I'm the perfect person. I could have gone out there and done those adjustments myself and say, all right, guys, we're going to do all of this. But there's just certain things that you see. It's like when you see Ty Johnson not pass blocking, put Michael Carter out there. You see, it's not once, it's not twice where it's like, okay, third time he'll get it. No, it's like happening every single time on third down, and he's out there, and you're like, why is he out there? So that's my initial thoughts. Those are my thoughts, like overall, like from what I saw from the offense. What do you think about that, and what are your thoughts on it?
To be honest with you, I think it's unfair to blame the coaches, besides the fact that, I mean, obviously we lost the game, we put up 0 points, so they're going to take the blame. I get that, but for me, it's difficult to blame the coaches on this one. But what is annoying at the same time is we made the same exact mistakes from last week. That's what I was, why I came out and started with the game plan coming in, because the 2 interceptions today came up of wide receiver drops. We didn't convert when we were actually driving because of a drop, and then we got bailed out, and then we had another drop in the same drive with our star wide receiver. You're talking about Ty Johnson in the blocking. Our running backs have not been able to block. You're asking why not put Michael Carter in there? Because he's too small. That's why he can't be there on third down picking up the blitz, because he can't pick it up. I mean that's the truth of the matter. That's why Ty Johnson's there, because he's a big body and he can pick that up. The problem is he can't block. So now your next question was, well, what about Croft? He got injured. What about Griffin? He's god awful. I mean, honestly, Ryan Griffin is a really, really tough player to have. Calling as your number 1 tight end, as your number 1 blocker. I mean, I don't really know what you want the coaches to do there. That's where my issue is. And then on your right guard, Van Roten. I mean, he was kind of spicy today in the post-game press conference, which honestly pissed me off, talking about how the Jets need to get the ball out of the hands of Zach Wilson faster. Dude. I mean, I don't know the advanced stats right now and how much time Zach Wilson exactly had to get rid of the ball. But what was it, like 5 sacks today? I mean, he was obviously pressured all day long. You want him to run bootlegs to the left. You know what's funny, GVR? The biggest sacks. I mean, I have to go back and watch it. And obviously, I'm not an expert. But if I can remember correctly, they were literally running Von Miller on the right side of that line. And he was coming around on the right with Chubb not there for a reason, bro. And it's because the right side of the line is the weakest link on the Jets. That is the issue. So like right off the bat, what's really annoying me is it's the same old story. Wide receiver drops that lead to interceptions, running backs that can't block, our tight end slack, and the right side of our offensive line is so bad that we get pushed to the interior. And then, they pass rush us, and Zach Wilson has no time. When he has time, he's being aggressive and he's trying to force it into tight windows. Otherwise, like, we are getting third and shorts. You know what I mean? We are doing what we're supposed to do. And so that's what I like about it. Those are the negatives. But what I like, why I'm not blaming the coaches, is because I like what LaFleur is doing. He's pushing the ball. He's being a little bit aggressive, but we're also running the ball. We are using our strengths. We're keeping it to third and short for the most part. When we're not getting sacked, it's third and short. At least third and 7, like for the most part. And so I like that. You know what I mean? And I think we could improve from that standpoint. It's just everything around that is just crumpling, man. You can't ask for anything else to go wrong, like you said. The only thing we're not doing is we're not fumbling. Like, and so that's okay for now. Like, that's the only thing I can think of that we're not doing. But like, we're getting penalties, we're getting holds. I don't know. The offense is tough, dude. The offense is really tough right now, but I don't think it's broken. You know what I'm saying? Because these coaches are here to stay. I'm not worried about it, but I'm disappointed as hell. But I don't think it's like, oh, coaching stinks. This is broken. I don't know. I think it's definitely fixable.
I'm not saying coaching stinks. And here's my thing. They're rookies. And you can see that they're rookies because you know what? When you're looking at your personnel, right? You have to understand what your personnel strength and weaknesses are. So if you know that you're not going to get good pass protection, it's hard to force it down the field if you know Zach Wilson isn't going to get the time. So if he's not going to get the time, then you have to dink and dunk because you have to get out of the ball's hand quickly. That is an adjustment. That is playing to your quarterback's strength, which is, all right, let's try to get him out of the pocket because trying to keep him in the pocket is not working. I just remember when between AVT and Connor McGovern that he got sacked. Who was it? Reed came right down the middle and got him. So when you see that coming from your line, as a coach, you have to say, this isn't working. What are my players' strengths? How do I adjust to my players' strengths? That is rookie coaching. That is what is infuriating out of today's game. So am I going to say like Robert Saleh and Mike LaFleur are the worst coaches we've ever seen? No, absolutely not. They're also rookies. So it takes time for them to learn, to adjust, to get into that situation. They're new guys at these positions. I'm not saying that they suck, but they also have to learn like on the go too. You're in week 3 now. This isn't week 1 where it's like, all right, everyone's coming out of the gate slow. All right. This isn't week 2 where it's like, it was all on Zach Wilson, really, where it's like 4 interceptions. You just cannot do that. You can't put your team in a deficit like that. Now your quarterback's actually playing well. So do I blame the wide receivers for dropping the ball? Absolutely. Do I blame the running backs for not giving the pass blocking? Absolutely. Do I also blame the coaches for saying, hey, we're going against a really good defense? Greg Van Roten, Moses is just going to get eaten alive by Von Miller. So what are we going to do? So why don't we roll it out left to give Zach Wilson a little bit more time to get away from Von Miller? Why don't we get someone going left to get him to a quick pass? Keep him moving down the field quickly. That's all. That's how you make the adjustment. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over. That's the joke what we have with Adam Gase. It's like, why are we doing halfback screens, dives, and just doing the same thing over and over when we know it's not going to work? So that's my gripe. Yeah. Okay. So do they suck? No. But could they have adjusted to this game plan? Absolutely. But there's, like I said, it's not just them. Everyone takes the blame today because if you're not making the adjustments, if you're not catching the ball, and I can't even put, like, we're talking about the interceptions. That's late in games. Like, that's like what we're talking second half, like fourth quarter. We're talking fourth quarter interceptions.
Already out of hand.
Irrelevant at that point. I'm talking about the first 3 quarters. Okay. Corey Davis had 10 targets today. 10. 5 out of 10 today for 41 yards.
And 2 drops.
Dude, he had massive drops. Elijah Moore had, like, you saw Zach Wilson underthrow in the beginning, but if the ball is touching your hand, like even the one that was behind, like, and it was like an in route that Corey Davis was doing, I don't even blame it. Like, sure, Zach Wilson, you got to throw it in front, but he's also trying to keep it. He's also trying to keep it away. So if it's touching your hands, it's still a catchable ball. Okay, that's just my thing. Like, if you're being paid like the primo wide receiver, if you're going to be our guy, you got to be our guy. Everyone's allowed to have like the down games and stuff, but it's so early in the season, man. And you gotta help. Like, we're trying to help our rookie quarterback. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I get it. We don't play well 4:00. We don't play well on the West Coast, as you always say, but it's just this game, man. It was really, it's infuriating to the sense where it's like, I know it's a young team. Like, I'm not like, are the Jets a bad team? Yeah, I would say yes. Like, yes. I'm not going to say like they're not, but the reason that they're a bad team is for a couple of reasons. The one being very young. Like, they're very, 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 very young. All right. I'm not going to put all the onus on, like, what do you want out of a rookie quarterback? What do you want out of a young squad? What do you want? You don't have the talent. There's only so much blame you can go around. I'm just rambling at this point, man. I'm just infuriated.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, so, chalking it up on the defensive side. So, we talked about how Coach Saleh is a defensive coach, and we talked about the game plan going against Denver. We talked about how we have to stop the run. We talked about how they established the run and they play action off that, and they open it up to the wide receivers from that side.
Mm-hmm.
They had 35 minutes of possession, and we had 24, which I think is like skewed because of the fourth quarter. They completely owned us with the possession. They had 100%. 37 rushing attempts. They killed us, dude. We could not stop the run at all. But shout out to CJ Mosley, dude. He is the only guy on defense in the linebackers that we knew. He's the only guy that has any experience, especially since Davis went down, all the injuries. Cashman can't get there, so it's literally Hamza and Sherwood, who might as well be non-existent. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They're rookies. Thank God for CJ Mosley, man. Thank the Lord. I would pay. He deserves $50 million. You know what I'm saying? Like,
dude, he flattened Melvin Gordon today. That hit, I was like, there's the linebacker.
Yeah.
There's the linebacker.
Smash.
I was like, he used a truck stick, bro. He used a truck stick. He's like, nah.
He's leading the lead. He's leading our team in tackles. He's doing everything he can. But when the team has, 8 penalties for about 90 yards in penalties, when they're literally keeping the defense on the field the entire game, when honestly the cornerbacks kind of got what was coming to them this week, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had it easy. With the Carolina and the Panthers wide receivers, who are just some names, but nothing really. Denver's got some big boys, and we have to thank our lucky stars that Jerry Jeudy wasn't there today.
Oh, I was about to say Jerry Jeudy was even on the field, and it could have been a lot worse, like a lot worse.
So bad, man. And Marcus Maye, CJ Mosley, and shout out to Quentin Williams, dude. Quentin Williams is back. He finally had his breakout game. Sheldon Rankins played okay. I think Francis Kasi got in the backfield a little bit. I saw Shepard around the ball quite a few. Huff was around.
Franklin Myers
was around. I feel like they could have made a couple better plays.
For sure.
I really don't want to rewatch this game, so I don't know if I'm going to. I don't know if it's worth it, honestly. That was a really tough one to endure. So I don't know if I'm going to rewatch it, but just from off the top of my head, really quick, I feel like they're just a step slow. I know that Shaq Lawson was offside on a play, and then he had that roughing the passer. We're so undisciplined. We even messed up the field goal attempt, right? We even had to mess up on special teams. But if you're gonna ask me for positives, I'm gonna point to the special teams. The punt block. We tipped that punt. Good. That was fun. I don't really hate our offense as much as I should. I don't hate Zach Wilson as much as I should. I'm not. No. I still think that we could pick it up. I do think our running back protection's tough. Our right guard is tough, and that bleeds into the rest of the team. Our tight ends are tough. Our wide receivers can't catch. I mean, I understand where the issues are. I'm just not completely out on them yet.
No,
on the defensive side, yeah. And I'll just add on the defensive side. I think the cornerbacks finally had what was coming to them. I think, Marcus Maye is doing everything the guy can do. So CJ Mosley. I mean, if we don't add a linebacker, I know Jamie Collins is expensive, and You know, he probably wants to go to a team that's good. But like, if we don't do something to add to the linebacker core
or tight end,
I mean, or a tight end,
dude, we need help, man.
We're gonna have a really like it's week.
Dude,
3.
we need help.
It's week 3. That's what I'm worried about. Honestly, this is what I'm worried about. Like, this is week 3. Like, what's gonna happen when it's cold outside and it's like week 11? You know what I'm saying? Like, it might be really bad out there. We have to turn it around at some point.
We need help, like linebacker wise, and we also need help tight end wise. Like, we really, really do. Zach Wilson, he is peppering Corey Davis. Like 3 weeks in a row, he is peppering Corey Davis. This is what I said like last week. Like, how does Bill Belichick take on the Jets after 1 week of film on Zach Wilson? I said, you have to stop Corey Davis. What they do? Stop Corey Davis. What are they doing for the Denver Broncos? It's like, oh, he's going to want to go to Corey Davis. Granted, Corey Davis should have had some catchable balls today. Dude, and they didn't really have to work that hard. But
come on, man. He can't be him and Berrios can't be dropping past the lead in interceptions. I don't care if the score is 110-0. I really don't care.
You cannot do that. You cannot. This is not the cornerback tip drill where you're tipping it for the Broncos. Just stop. Like, that is unacceptable.
Because even if the score is out of reach, if the Jets are putting something together in the fourth quarter, we could have some momentum going into next game. This is a rookie. Every possession matters. Every play matters. You're talking about it in the post-game press conferences. You're talking about it in the pre-game press conferences. We have to act like that for 4 quarters. Like,
we do. Dude, and the thing is,
you have to do your job. I hate that that's a Patriots mantra. I really hate it. But
it is true.
Have to just do their job. The wide receivers have to catch. The offensive line, don't worry about Zach. Just guard your guy. I need the running back to find his man and like. Dude, put a chip. Like Ty Johnson, put a chip.
That is all he has to do. And he's not even doing that, dude. He is like, if you're watching the YouTube right now, he sees this guy coming out. He's like, whoop, like legit, like, woo, like honestly, passing that thing like a traffic cone.
Like TikTok, like those 12-year-olds are go to TikTok and show everyone the running backs.
Dude, they had it right. They had it right.
Crazy, dude. It's really crazy. So that's what's driving me nuts, dude. I'm not worried right now. But like, I actually am worried about like if this is the trajectory, it's gonna be bad by week 11, bro. I'm really nervous.
Here's my thing though, and here's what I have to say, not only to you but to all Jets fans, and where we are right now, because I know everyone's ready to hit the panic alarm, and they should hit the panic alarm for this season, where it's like, I would say towards Joe Douglas for like not addressing the line properly. That is where I'm gonna hold my gripe, and going out for a tight end, that's where I will hold my gripe right now. But if you don't, I wouldn't hit the panic alarm on the team yet, because here's why. We reset and are doing a rebuild again without even completing our first rebuild. Okay. When we got Sam Darnold, we knew that was going to be a true rebuild team. We said, okay, we're getting Sam Darnold, rookie, youngest to be in that draft class. He's still one of the youngest quarterbacks in the league, right? But we knew that we had to build around him, with whether it's a line, running backs, wide receiver, get a complete defense, so forth, to make sure that he's going in the right direction, progressing, right, as a player to have a successful franchise. That didn't happen. Fired Bowles, brought in Gase, fired Becton, brought in JD. It was a mess during those 3 years. That the reset was never truly a reset, because it was just a dumpster fire. So now it's been hosed. Like, this is actually what a dumpster fire looks like after it's hosed. It still stinks. Like, what we're seeing right now is a hosed down dumpster of fire of trash that was on fire. And it's like, wow, this is really what this smells like. Why are we so bad? Guys, we never had a rebuild. This is now truly the rebuild. This is now, unfortunately, the real thing that everyone's saying to be patient for. And do I know that is rough to hear? Absolutely. I don't like hearing that when I was supposed to be patient for Geno Smith. What? That we had Ryan Fitzpatrick, be patient.
Sanchez,
Fitzpatrick, McCown. Now you get to Darnold. Now it's like, be patient. I can't. It's tiring to say to the fan base, be patient since 2010. Okay, we have not been competitive since 2011, 2012 when we went 8-8, and from there it has been nothing. You had one Geno Smith season where it was like, okay, not bad. No. You had one Adam Gase season where it was 7-9. You're like, eh. You had one Fitzpatrick season where you're like, all right. And it's like, but you see, Yeah, I mean that's before Sanchez. I'm not even going that far back, but like we saw those 3 seasons, and it's like gives you maybe a glimpse of hope, but no, it was those were all mirage. We never had a true rebuild. Now we're seeing a rebuild. So everyone, as you're smelling this terrible trash that's been hosed down, that's just sitting in your face, understand that this is not the final product. This is actually now the beginning of the product, because this is truly Joe Douglas's chance to say, this is what I'm working with. Now, where I have the right with Joe Douglas, and please stop when you're right, when you want to say something, is that I'm upset with the Ryan Griffin. I still think that's a bad sign. We don't have to go back to Robbie. I said, but what he should address was really get another offensive line. To come in here saying Greg Van Roten after what you saw last season, this is what you're bringing. And then Morgan Moses, maybe there's a reason why he was let go. I know there was optimism. I was also optimistic with him too. I'm not going to play like that was like the worst thing. But Greg Van Roten, Connor McGovern, we knew those were the 2 weakest links. We saw Sam Darnold just see defensive linemen coming down the middle. Can we at least spend on that? Like, that's what I want, at least, to give Zach Wilson a chance, just to give him a chance to do something. That's what I want, dude. And that's where I'm going to hold it right.
He's been spending. I mean, he's been spending, right? He did trade up in the draft to the left guard.
He did, but dude,
which was also weakest link. Like, he's still spending. It's not like he's doing nothing, right? Becton was.
I'm not saying he's doing nothing, but it's like we also can't rely on AVT as a rookie to come in here and be like another Mekhi Becton, like, and just say, hey, these 2 rookies are going to be studs. Like, that is it's so rare to get someone like Mekhi Becton, dude. It's just so rare. Like, offensive linemen just need time. Like we just know, like, we know that, like, they have the potential to be good, but most rookies take time. Like, they have to learn and they have to develop and they have to get like grown man strength.
Yeah. I mean,
so when you have 3 guys who are like, I'm not even going to include Morgan Moses in this. I'm not even going to include it because that's just not even fair. Yeah. I'm going to go off on Van Roten and McGovern though, because those are truly our 2 weakest links on the offensive line. And those 2 guys should have been replaced. Bringing them back, I'm going to have a gripe, because you're going to have a rookie quarterback. We saw what happened with Sam Darnold. We saw what happened with quarterbacks in the past that don't have an offensive line. And if you want this kid to succeed, you have to at least spend and give him some sort of protection. If Joe Douglas knows that the offensive line is important, which he's already preached, and I get that he wants to build through the draft, you have to at least protect the quarterback. You have to. You just have to, even if it's overspending at just one. I'm not even asking for both, just one. Like, you have to get one primo guy to help, like somebody. And instead, we just have Zach Wilson seeing the same shit that Sam Darnold saw last season, which is people in their face ready to kill him. I just don't like that, man.
Yeah, I mean, to answer you, I would say that if we get a center or a right guard or even a right tackle, a little less on the scale, but one of those, 2 positions that you're talking about, if we sign, a premier one, then we'd have 3 studs because of our willingness to draft Becton and trade up for Vera-Tucker. And then if we get one of those, then we'd have really 3 stars that would be able to, kind of be the deodorant for the other 2. So I'll start off there. So I don't really have too much of a problem with Joe Douglas and the offensive line, even though, like, dude, like, we have to address this right guard situation. It's going to be tough if it's like this all year. But,
dude,
I mean, look around the league. You know what I'm saying? Like, teams, like, I'll bring up the Falcons. They're starting to back up to Andrews. You know what I mean? Like, other teams are having issues as well. So I won't, like, kill him for that. But, yeah, it's definitely an issue that we definitely have to address sooner rather than later. But I think you're totally right about this whole Jets as a franchise rebuild, and this is a true rebuild. And what's truly not fair for this Jets staff and for these Jets players who we have gone on and on. This is the youngest team in the NFL. We have 4 rookies on both sides of the ball starting in premier positions. The fact that we are expecting playoffs, like somebody like me, right? Expecting playoffs. Right? And I'll tell you, like, it's not fair to them because they are coming in as a rebuild. But for me, I already been through the rebuild, bro. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know.
I already been through the rebuild. You know what I'm saying? I already went through it. This is like a medium rebuild for me, like, because of what I've been going through as a Jets fan. So that's what's really not fair for this team. That's why we're booing Zach Wilson when he's underthrowing or he's overthrowing a wide open Michael Carter on the flat
and
versus the
underthrowing.
Patriots. And today, what I'm saying today, I'm saying like when we were, at MetLife, and that's what I'm worried about coming into next week, man. Like next week, if Zach Wilson plays like he did today, like say exactly today happened next week, and we lost 26-0 in this exact fashion, same exact game, but in MetLife versus the Titans, because they run the ball and they stretch it. It's basically the same exact game, right? Just say that happens, he's gonna get booed out of here, but it's not fair. Even if this were to happen, it would still be not fair, right? Because it's a rebuild, it's a rookie, everybody's a rookie. The whole staff is a rookie. It's the youngest team. We're supposed to be like, hey, it's all right. Like this is supposed to happen. But it's not fair to them. And that's where, like, at some point, like the fans and the team and the players and the coaches, like, we're going to have to somehow, like, come together, because right now we're not on the same page. We're still not on the same page.
Look,
like Saleh, you know what Saleh said today in the post-game press conference, telling me, the Jets had the best practice this week. Zach, literally after this game, he's telling me Zach Wilson had a great practice. And then like we had the same thing with Denzel Mims have a great practice. He can't even get dressed for the game. So this is where I'm having the biggest issue, man, is we're just not on the same page. Like it's not fair for us to be so hard on them. It's not fair for them to kind of like act like everything's okay. They're sort of taking the, you're wearing your Yankee shirt. The Yankees are in baseball playoffs. They were taking the Aaron Boone approach. But we don't have the best players on our squad.
But the thing, I agree, and I agree with that, bro. And I agree with that. Like as I said, like this is truly the rebuild, and like for fans, like this is where, unfortunately, this is not like basketball, right? Like even with the Knicks, like we had Melo, we had like that short success, and we didn't have anything from 2012, 2013 season until now, right? The 2020, 21 season. You're talking about 7 to 8 years, and it's like that's a long time. We're talking 11 years now for the Jets. And the thing is that with football, it's so short. It is like it is so short. Like we have 17 games now this season. When it was 16, it is rough, man. To be invested in the fall for 16 weeks, like, and if you're not, and it's like it's just over quickly. And football is like such a fun sport to get into. But if your team is not even remotely competitive, like just competitive. That's the other thing. I'm just asking for this team to be competitive. Exactly, I'm not even asking for a win.
8 quarters without a touchdown, bro.
I'm just asking for competitiveness.
I want a touchdown. How about that? Just give me a touchdown.
I don't even know what that is, dude. I don't even know what that is at this point.
How crazy is that?
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? Guys are getting penalized for touchdowns. We're getting penalized like for celebrations after touchdowns. I should clarify. We're getting penalized for taunting being down 0-17. What are we doing? What are players doing, man? You were down 0-17. Stop taunting the offense. Just stop. If you're on defense, you had a big stop. Okay. There's 17 points on the board, my man. Let's relax. I think who was doing that? I forget who was doing that. I forget which player that was. Just stupid.
We had a lot of tough penalties, man. We had a lot. We can't line up on. We can't snap the ball on special teams. We can't line up on defense. We can't snap the ball on offense without a false start. Like, what can we do? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's our issue. Alex, like, who's going to get a win first? Is it going to be the Jets? Is it going to be the Giants? Or is it going to be the Knicks in preseason? Like,
you already asked me this question.
I know.
I already told you.
I know. And I still like, who's gonna win first, bro?
The New York Knicks, man. You asked me if my catch would be healed before one of those teams went. I'm telling you, the New York Knicks are going to be healed. Crazy. But you know what?
It's next week. They only have one more drive. The Jets got the Titans next week at home. If they don't win, dude, the Knicks literally might win a game before the Jets. Unreal.
That's a crazy thing to think. But you know what? We can't hold this all for ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen who have to listen to this podcast, as we're on the YouTube, we have our video editor. And our video editor with us, and as always, Greg.
Winnings Picks Weekly.
Facts. So, Greg, I'm going to ask you to give us your takes on the state of the New York Jets, because it's not fair that John and I get to vent and you just get there to listen to us all the time without giving your take. So, how do you feel, man? How do you feel after today's L?
I mean, I feel like you guys going into the season were way more optimistic than me. So hearing you guys vent, like, I don't want to just pile on, because what you guys are saying is exactly how I feel. I think John's letting Joe Douglas off a little bit easy. I kind of agree with Alex a little bit more with bringing people in. The problem is with bringing people in is people have to want to come to the Jets. So you saw a lot of offensive linemen go to the Kansas City Chiefs this offseason, go to the Chargers with Justin Herbert and what they got going. So if we can bring a couple offensive linemen in, that'd be great. I've already said, privately between us, like I hate Elijah Moore. I hate that pick. So we passed up on 3 pretty good offensive linemen, in my opinion, with that pick. So, to me, it's just all about the line play at this point. We can start talking about quarterback play and running the ball. We can't do that. We can't pass the ball. We can't catch the ball. But at the very first, we got to block someone. We got to slow someone. We got to give Zach Wilson a chance.
We got to snap special teams on time.
Yeah. There's a million things to be down about, but for me, it's just the line play, both offensive and defensively. I feel like defensively, we had, 2 sacks today, but we just need to step it up a little bit. We have a lot of injuries in that area, but we need more pressure. We need more better line play, both offensive and defensively. So, it's going to be a long, long season if we can't block anyone and we can't get any pressure.
No.
Yep.
I agree, man. It's really like today was really, really, really tough to bear, and I guess you were
talking about like the Titans, like I feel like the Titans we have a better shot against, and like I feel disgusting even saying that after today's performance because they just don't have a defense.
I know.
Stop.
They struggled
Just stop.
Denver
All right.
has a defense. Titans, at home, maybe we have a shot, maybe we can get something going, but we have to get we have to get on their side of the field. Today was just tough.
Talk to me later this week and see how I feel.
Yeah.
I can't tell. I can't be that optimistic right now, man.
Knicks,
that is
at this point the Knicks before the Giants, before the Jets.
Unbelievable, dude. If I go into London with the Jets with 0 wins and I don't know 12 quarters without a touchdown, like I'm not sure I'm gonna be okay. Like. I'm gonna have a tough time. I'm really gonna have a tough time, guys. I'm not. I really don't know. Like,
I honestly can't wait for that pod. Personally,
I'm so happy. I was telling you guys off air. I thank God. Like all day today, I was thanking God that I canceled my flight to Denver. Oh my goodness! Thank the Lord. There is a God. If anyone's listening to this pod, they're wondering if God is real. God is real. I canceled my flight to Denver today. I don't even know if I would have made it back. So, I'm on ice. I'm on thin ice right now with the Jets. We have a home game next week versus the Titans. Thank God I'm staying away from that game too. We usually have a family outing. The cousins, we like to do one tailgate a year. Originally it was scheduled for the Titans. We canceled that thing. Again, there's a God. There's a God right now. I have plans now for Sunday. It's gonna be on while I'm at a restaurant. I need them to just get a touchdown. Can we just start with that, guys? Can the Jets get a touchdown next week? Can we start there?
That's look, man. All I'm asking for is just competitive football. I'm not even asking for a lot. Like I know we
have a touchdown, Alex.
That's all I want. That's being competitive. Can I get touchdowns? Can I get a competitive game? Can I not just go through 4 quarters of just pain? Like my eyes are just bleeding after watching that, dude. My eyes legit are just like
they asked for boring. Football.
I'm texting you. Like
I'm boring football. This can't be any more boring.
Like I'm creating memes. I'm texting you out of anger. It's not even like I have to be cynical at this point because it's just honestly, just so everyone understands. Like I'll be upset, but I'm at the point like after watching the Jets for so long, I just can't give him that much emotion, just like breaking stuff. Like I'm not like Alan Hahn who's going to throw a remote or break a mug. I'm just not that angry anymore. I won't scream. I'm just like I just get very cynical. I just get very upset. I'm like, what did I just do with my life? Like I legit
get very sad.
I get very sad.
I know. I can't everyone. I text John after games. I have to check. I legitimately have to check. It is tough. It's like phone a friend to see if someone's okay. That is me reaching out to John.
I'd rather lose at the Bucs. Like I'd rather lose like the Giants lost today than how people always say,
absolutely.
I'd rather get blown out. No. I'd rather lose the Giants did today than the Jets did today.
And the thing is, the Giants should be better. That's the joke. The Giants should be we should be where the Giants are. That's what we should be doing.
Their offensive line sucks, bro.
I know, but I'm just saying
Billy Price starting at center, maybe the worst center in the league.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, we should at least be where the Giants are, putting up points, having competitive games. If we're losing, I'm like, okay, there's at least something to build on here. You know what I mean? At least there's something to build on.
We got something to build on.
Yeah,
I mean, we're gonna get some first downs and a touchdown in MetLife. I can't wait.
We last season we said at least it can only go up from here. I'm holding that. I don't even want to say those words.
Dude, we cannot have a worse game than today.
We thought that last week too, man.
We can't. That's how I'm gonna. There's no chance that we're gonna have a worse game. We had 11 first downs, bro. Dude. The Broncos had 22 first downs. We had 11. Like, there's no way we're gonna have a worse game.
Can I just give a shout out to Teddy Bridgewater, man? Because Teddy Bridgewater had a game today.
Teddy two gloves,
dude. And honestly, people were talking about like, oh, the Jets' offensive line like was okay pass protecting, and Zach Wilson was holding on to the ball. Both things can be true. Zach Wilson can hold on to the ball for too long, and our pass protection can also be bad. Because if you're looking on the other side of the ball, what Teddy Bridgewater was getting for pass protection, like, my God, that is pass protection. He barely got touched. Barely.
Shout out to Teddy Two Gloves, and shout out to Colin Sutton, who was a beast at SMU and absolutely killed it. But
19 for 25 for Teddy Bridgewater today. 223 yards. He had a game, dude.
The safeties were unbelievable, like we said. The Denver was everything we thought they were, nothing more, nothing less. I'm still not huge on Denver as an overall team, but they did exactly what they were supposed to do. Congrats to them being 3-0.
You know, I wish I did. Because I picked up Tim Patrick in one of my fantasy leagues. I wish I actually started today because he had 98 yards. I was like,
shout out to you if you started Denver defense.
I actually do know someone who started Denver defense today. So
let's go.
There you go. I guess that's where we can end it off here. With this Jets episode with some fantasy notes. And John is whatever's left. We're gonna get out of here and go catch the Yankees game now because you know they're tied right now. They're in playoff. This is playoff baseball.
Yeah, we got playoff baseball right now.
We got something else to go watch tonight to cleanse our palate. So thank you for everyone tuning in for another Jets episode of the Knicks, Jets, Etc. podcast. Please, if you listen to this on Apple Podcasts, please make sure to give us a 5-star review and to leave a comment. That really helps us out. And if you don't listen to us on Apple Podcasts, it's okay. It's truly okay. John knows why, but I'll tell you all why. Because we're on Spotify, Google Play, Amazon, Alexa, Stitcher, you name it, we're there. On top of that, if you're watching this on YouTube, please make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell. That's only the polite thing to do. And last but certainly not least, please make sure to follow us on all social media platforms. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, you name it, we're there. All right, everyone, we'll catch you later this week for another Knicks episode of the Knicks, Jets, Etc. podcast. But we out.
Let's go Jets and let's go Yankees.